First of all, we need to understand the whole concept of the limiting reactant. A simple example is, let's say that we have 5 hot dogs and 4 bread, and we need to make sandwiches. So we're going to put each hot dog in one piece of bread. We're going to make 4 sandwiches. Uh, which ingredient ran out from the recipe first? It's the bread, because we have one sausage left over. So this means that the bread is the limiting factor of this recipe. Without it, we cannot make any more sandwiches. The same idea is with the limiting reactant in chemistry. Which molecule is going to run out first from the equation?
Good morning. Today we're going to discuss the limiting reactant. First of all, what's the definition of the limiting reactant? It's the reactant which is completely consumed during the chemical reaction. يعني the reactant which runs out from the equation first is called the limiting reactant. And what remains is called the excess reactant. First, let's start with the most simple example in understanding the limiting reactant. If we have 3 nitrogen molecules and 10 hydrogen molecules, and they're going to make a reaction to produce ammonia. First, how many hydrogen each nitrogen must use? 3. So, one nitrogen is going to consume 3 hydrogen atoms, one nitrogen is going to consume 3 hydrogen atoms, and the last one is going to consume 3 hydrogen atoms. And we're going to have one atom of hydrogen left over. So, which atom ran out from the reaction first? The nitrogen atom. So, the nitrogen is the limiting reactant. Now, with a more advanced question. CH4 is going to react with water and will produce 3 molecules of H2O and 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. And the question is asking, what's going to happen if we place 6 moles of CH4 and 9 moles of H2O in a reaction? What's the limiting reactant if that happens? First of all, we have to find the ratios of each molecule. Here we have 1 molecule of CH4 to 1 molecule of H2O. So one CH4 uses 1 H2O to produce 3, 2, 1. The next step, we're going to write the moles that he gave us in the equation. He said that there are going to be 6 moles of CH4. So we write 6 moles of CH4. Now, what ran out first from the equation? Which molecule got consumed before the other? CH4. So CH4 is the limiting reactant, and H2O is called the excess reactant. Now I showed you 2 ways to solve questions which involves the limiting reactant. Now this is the last way, and this one is used for more complex equations and more complex questions. First, we have C2H6 is reacting with oxygen, and in the question he said 32 grams of C2H6 is placed in one bowl with 39 grams of oxygen. So what's going to happen? First of all, we need to know how many moles of C2H6 do we have and how many moles of oxygen do we have. We need the molar mass to calculate these. First, 32. We know how many moles of each molecule do we have. Which one is less? Of course, the 1.064 is less. Does that mean that the C2H6 is the limiting reactant? No. It's all about the ratios. So we need to divide this by the coefficient of the C2H6, which is 2. And the O2 is need to divide it by 7. We'll have 0.5 here and here 0.2. Now that's what we can use to determine the limiting reactant. This means that the O2 actually is the limiting reactant, and the C2H6 is the excess reactant. I hope you understood the lesson. I showed you 3 ways to solve these questions. Have a nice day.